my mic for whatever reason won't do. Hello, I'm just going to check my YouTube channel. Might be limiting at this stage. I just want to make sure all this is coming through with my mic and camera. I've been having issues with it for some reason. And I'm still having issues. Be quiet, JJ. Let's go to there. Let's get the message. Okay, what? Looks like my microphone is working. There you go. Thank God. Welcome to the Eureka Conservative, Charlie Kirk Bible Read and Bob Rant from me and my boy JJ on the couch, as he always is. Look at that smile. Isn't he a happy boy? Hey, happy boy? He's a happy boy. He should be happy. He's spoiled rotten. Unreal. To start with, let's give you our usual look. I wish these laptops were like your phone. You know, you could turn it around and just use the other camera. Flick it around, I should say. Whereas this one, on the laptop, we've got to pick it up. There's Port Phillip Bay. Beautiful day over the ranges. As you can see, really nice day. I've been out all day mowing lawns. So I've been out amongst it. Gets pretty warm out there once you've been out for a bit. But if you haven't, it's pretty nice. So beautiful Melbourne day. Thank God. Something good is going. So we actually haven't had, well, I won't say we have had a great summer, but it's not the worst summer we've had. So the start to it wasn't great, but it is getting better. I can get rid of that message. See, my mic will start in a few minutes. Yeah, okay. So yeah, welcome to another edition. We've been again missing. I apologise for this yet again. Been missing a couple of days simply because, look, coming back from the Christmas break has been pretty hectic, and my business has gotten pretty busy outside this, and I'm finding it difficult to get on each day. I usually try very difficult. It's my busiest day of the week. So I try and get on usually around 3 o'clock most days, maybe a bit earlier on Wednesdays, but I've not been having a lot of success in that because I've been flat out. And as I've said a few times on this, my other part, my business part, pays the bills. I've got to respect that. Okay. So, Bible reads. Got 3 days to catch up on. So bear with me, and then we'll get stuck into the rant. February 11th, Living the Spirit of Christ, the request of James and John. Mark 10:35 through 45. Clearly, James and John failed to understand what kind of kingdom Jesus was to rule over. As a result, Jesus tells all 12 disciples how to be servants. Then James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to Jesus. Teacher, they said, there is something we want you to do for us. What is it? Jesus asked them. They answered, when you sit on the throne in your glorious kingdom, we want you to let us sit with you, one at your right and one at your left. Jesus said to them, you don't know what you're asking for. Can you drink the cup of suffering that I must drink? Can you be baptized in the way I must be baptized? We can, they answered. Jesus said to them, you'll indeed drink the cup I must drink and be baptized in the way I must be baptized, but I do not have the right to choose who will sit at my right and my left. It is God who will give these places to those for whom he has prepared them. When the other 10 disciples heard about it, they became angry with James and John. So Jesus called them all together to him and said, "You know that the men who are considered rulers of the heathen have power over them, and the leaders have complete authority. This, however, is not the way it is amongst you. If one of you wants to be great, he must be the servant of the rest. And if one of you wants to be first, he must be the slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served. He came to serve and to give his life to redeem many people." If only our politicians did that. Anyway. February 12th, for the gospel's sakes, 1 Corinthians 9:19 through 27. Paul was so keen to win people for Christ that he was prepared to go through hardship and be everybody's slave. "I am a free man, nobody's slave, but I make myself everybody's slave in order to win as many people as possible. While working with the Jews, I live like a Jew in order to win them. And even though myself am not subject to the law of Moses, I live as though I were when working with those who are, in order to win them. In the same way, when working with Gentiles, I live like a Gentile, outside the Jewish law, in order to win Gentiles. This does not mean that I don't obey God's law. I am already under Christ's law, although the weak in faith become weak like one of them in order to win them. So I become all things to all men, that I may save some of them by whatever means are possible. All this I do for the gospel's sake, in order to share in its blessings. Surely you know that many runners take part in a race, but only one of them wins the prize. Run then in such a way as to win the prize. Every athlete in training submits to strict discipline in order to be crowned with a wreath that will not last, but we do it for one that will last forever. That is why I run straight for the finish line. That is why I'm like a boxer who does not waste his punches. I harden my body in blows and bring it under complete control to keep myself from being disqualified after having called others to the contest." Sporting analogy, I like it. Last one. Friendship with God, 2 Corinthians 5:11 through 21. The persecutor Saul became the apostle Paul, and he knew that in being a follower of Christ, you change from being an enemy of God to God's friend. We know what it means to fear the Lord, and so we tried to persuade others. God knows us completely, and I hope that in your hearts you know me as well. We are not trying again to recommend ourselves to you. Rather, we are trying to give you a good reason to be proud of us so that you'll be able to answer those who boast about a man's appearance and not about his character. Are we really insane? It is for God's sakes. Are we really insane? It is for God's sake. Or are we sane? That is for your sake. We are ruled by the love of Christ now that we recognize that one man died for everyone, which means that all share in his death. He died for all so that those who live should no longer live for themselves, but only for him who died and was raised to life for their sake. No longer then do we judge anyone by human standards. Maybe Candace Owens and that new blonde carry bird should read that. I'll repeat that. No longer then do we judge anyone by human standards. Even if at one time we judged Christ according to human standards, we no longer do so. When anyone is joined to Christ, he is a new being. The old is gone, the new has come. All this is done by God, who through Christ changed us from enemies into friends and gave us the task of making others friends also. Our message is that God was making all mankind his friends through Christ. God did not keep an account of their sins, and he has given us the message which tells us how he makes them his friends. Here we are then, speaking for Christ as though God himself were making his appeal through us. We plead on Christ's behalf. Let God change from your enemies into his friends. Christ was without sin, but for our sake God made him share our sin in order that in union with him we might share the righteousness of God. So there you go. Interesting. Like that last passage. Creating friends out of enemies. Not sure how possible that is, but anyway. So I don't have a lot of time today. Should be a short and sharp rant. and we'll focus on the news of the day, which is Angus Taylor, new leader of the Liberal Party. I don't think it'll make much difference. I hope it does, because it would be good for Australia if we had the old Liberal Party back. And he was certainly talking along those lines. But, the deputy leader bothers me. I don't like Jane Hume. I think she's a moderate. I don't think she's as smart as people say. She's got a mouth. And as a conservative Christian, the fact that she was one of the 4 Liberal senators that voted against the bill to protect babies that survive abortions, that doesn't speak well to me. Not happy with her appointment at all. And if I was Angus Taylor, I would be watching his back. There's no way I would trust that woman. Not a chance in hell. So, look, Angus Taylor, I thought his press conference was good. Wouldn't say it was super good, but it was good. He certainly seemed to be making apologies for where they'd taken the Liberals and where he wants to bring them back. But there's a lot more than your first press conference you got to do. He mentioned immigration. What are you going to do on immigration? What are you going to do about repealing hate speech laws? What are you going to be doing about the social media ban? Are you going to get rid of the E-Safety Commission and that stupid bitch is the E-Safety Commissioner? What are you going to do about net zero? You sort of got rid of net zero. You haven't withdrawn out of Paris. Are you going to embrace new clean coal power and nuclear energy? Or are you going to keep with spending billions upon billions on these useless renewable projects? Are you going to halve our bureaucracy so we can actually make some savings and pay down debt? And what are you going to do about housing, cost of living, protecting renters like myself? There's a whole bunch of things, Angus. You've got to get busy, mate. And you've got to tick every box, because Pauline Hanson got on after you and she ticked a few of those boxes for me. She was very, very strong on immigration, very strong on protecting the life of a youngest child that survives, because she was asked about this, that survives an abortion, unlike your deputy leader. So I'm not convinced yet that the Liberal Party is worth supporting. I am happy to give it some time to prove themselves. But even then, unless something amazing happens, and I'll give you one scenario, unless something amazing happens, the best the Liberals could do now is I get my second or third preference, because I'm One Nation right now. One Nation, for me to go back to the Liberals, One Nation has to lose me. And at the moment, the way they're going, I don't think they will. Will my vote count in the next election? Probably not, because I've got Richard Dreyfuss's seat, so it's pretty red Labor. But we'll see. We'll see where that leads to. But certainly, Angus, you got still so much work. The problem, mate, people aren't listening. People don't trust your party. People don't know about you. You better win from day one, every step, every day, every hour, every week. And if I were you, here's a tip. Your first, second, and third policy, immigration. Every question between now and Christmas, immigration. Go where Albo doesn't want you to go. He would not want you to touch immigration. So go there. Come out with a policy that is, I know you won't go full bore on, mass deportations or anything like that, but you need to be, you talked about it today about not coming to this country if you can't accept their way of life. Well, what about those ones that are here that don't accept their way of life? What are you going to do about them? So you need to come out with a stronger immigration policy, and then maybe, I'm saying maybe, big maybe, people might have a second look at you. All right? I'll tell you what would get you another look: if you purged that miserable bastard Malcolm Turnbull out of your party ranks. Just get him expelled. Take Keane with him, take Alex Hawke with him, take a few others with him. And an interesting concept came up on my X feed. Now that Susan Ley has decided to quit Parliament altogether, one of the guys said, well, why not put Tony Abbott in there as the candidate for Ferrara? And I reckon that's a great idea. Get some real conservatives back in your ranks. Show us your fair income, and then maybe again, we might give you a second look. But at the moment, no way. It's good that they've changed lane. It's good we've got a conservative in charge. Good to see there's a fresh approach, but that's all it is. It's just good. So, what's today? What's tomorrow hold? What's Sunday hold? What's Monday hold? There's so many weeks to go, so many days to go before the next election. You don't have a lot of time, though. Oh, excuse me, everyone. You've got to win us back. That means you've got to write up good policy. Hope you got some ready. And it's got to be convincing policy that makes us have a second look first, because you're not going to get us without us having that second look. So I don't envy you the challenge you've got in front of you. You've got a lot of work to do between now and that next election. Good luck. I wish you all the success in the world. But if you're going to be Labor light or Teals light, or you're going to fall for this bullshit about going back to the middle, you're going anyway. So, and I'm pretty confident that's exactly what Jane Hume will be trying. And I hope she surprises me. I really do. I doubt it. So on Susan Ley, her farewell speech was pretty good. But, you know, you don't say in a speech at one point that you love the Liberal Party and everything it's given you. You love the Australian people and everything they've supported you through. And then in the next breath, you resign to give this party that you love a by-election that they're probably not going to win and going to give them a whole bunch of PR. If you love the party, you'd stick it out. You really would. You'd back it out. She would have stuck it out if she remained leader. So why not stick it out now? And I'm sick to death. If she loves the Australian people, you've just given the Australian people a dirty big bill for this by-election. You know, you could have hung on. Tony Abbott hung on. A few others hung on. There's no reason why you couldn't have hung on. So I found that a little disappointing. For those who watched us last night, apologies. My mic went. We were having a great time with Ben from Australian Talk. So at Australian Talk, we were getting right into the mix of a whole bunch of deep and meaningful conversations. Have a look at the link. And it's on my feed. But my mic packed it in at the end of it. No one could hear me, which probably a lot of people going, oh, how do we do that more often? Yeah, I get you. It was a bit of fun. So I just got my Bible reads. I said I had to be quick because I've got to get back off to work again. But I didn't want to get 4 days behind, and I'm not going to get tomorrow in. So Sunday I'll probably catch up with 2 Bible verses. Thank God there's been a change in the Liberals. Look, so many of us, like me, have given up on the Liberals, but it's not going to hurt this country to get them coming back to where they were. That'd be a good thing. And the other thing that, Angus Taylor's got to do, will he reach, not even across the aisle, they're on the same side of the aisle, will he reach across the political boundaries and talk to Pauline Hanson about preferences, about partnerships? So if One Nation or they win supply in the Senate, they'll pass bills and legislation, or even go far as forming a new coalition between One Nation, the Nationals, and the Liberals. You know, up to you, Angus, but if I was you, that's exactly what I'd be doing. Anyway, everyone, that's it from me. I said nice and quick. I meant it. God bless. God bless you. God bless your kids. God bless your grandparents. God bless your grandparents, grandkids. God bless your pets. God bless that flag. God bless Pauline Hanson and One Nation. And good luck to Angus Taylor and the decent Liberals. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll have more to say on Sunday probably. I'm going to struggle tomorrow. But Sunday definitely will be back on. Okay? All right, everyone. Have a great Friday night. Have a great weekend. And we'll talk again soon. Bye.